Welcome to this explainer. Let's jump right in, because I want you to think about something for a second. Have you ever tried to go to sleep, but your mind simply wouldn't stop? You're lying there remembering a conversation from weeks ago, thinking about bills, work, family. And suddenly it's 3 a.m. And then you wake up the next morning feeling completely exhausted, even though you didn't do anything physically strenuous. You didn't run a marathon, you didn't carry heavy boxes, but your body is just begging for mercy. What you are experiencing is real, it's heavy, and you are absolutely not alone. Anxiety and this kind of emotional exhaustion are some of the biggest mental health challenges we face today.
Okay, let's dive right into this. When you wake up feeling that silent, invisible weight pressing down on you as if the world is just way too big, what's your first thought? A lot of us immediately question ourselves, right? We wonder, is this just laziness? Do I need more vitamins? We look for these really simple physical answers. But based on the research we're looking at today, it isn't laziness. And it's not a vitamin deficiency. It's something much deeper.
That brings us to section 1, the tiredness that doesn't fade.
This is that phase where literally everything feels draining. A simple meeting, basic house chores, just everyday conversations, they all feel incredibly heavy. It's like you're running on a treadmill, putting in all this effort but never actually getting anywhere. And then comes this incredibly cruel paradox, the guilt. You look around, you think you haven't done enough physically to actually earn being this tired, so you force yourself to keep pushing. You feel guilty for even wanting to complain, while inside your mind is silently screaming for just a moment of rest.
Let's move to section 2. What exactly is emotional exhaustion?
The name for this is emotional exhaustion. It happens when your mind and your emotions are just completely overloaded. Why? Because you've spent way too much time in a constant state of alert. Think about it. For thousands of years, the human brain evolved to identify physical dangers, like a tiger in the woods, right? You had to decide instantly, fight or flight. But today, the tigers are replaced by notifications, bills, endless emails, and social media. Your brain interprets these as permanent threats. It's basically a fire alarm that never ever turns off, usually because you're trying to solve everything and please absolutely everyone, putting yourself dead last.
Which brings us to section 3, the culture of overload.
We definitely don't operate in a vacuum. We live in the era of the accelerated mind, receiving hundreds of pieces of information every single day. Before even getting out of bed, a lot of people have already checked their phones a dozen times. And notice the trap here on the slide. On one side, we have a culture that completely romanticizes productivity. Being called a multitasker is treated like the ultimate compliment. But on the other side is our biological reality. We're connected all the time, but being connected does not mean being at peace. In this system, feeling tired has somehow become a sign of failure.
This system is especially brutal when we look at the invisible load, which the sources point out falls disproportionately on women. Look at this list. It's not just your job. It's the house, the kids, remembering birthdays, scheduling the doctor, the budget, all while keeping up appearances. Your anxiety tries to protect you by asking, what if? What if I forget? What if something goes wrong? But those questions never stop. You answer one and it creates another. This immense weight is exactly why your mind is constantly on autopilot, living in the future instead of the present.
So I really want you to answer this honestly. When was the last time you did something without thinking about anyone else? When was the last time you went to sleep and woke up truly, deeply rested? There's a really stark imbalance happening here. You're spending all your energy caring for others, but your own mind is exhausted. Who is taking care of you?
Let's move on to section 4, signs of your limit.
Your body and mind will send you warning signals. And please hear me on this. Reaching this breaking point is not a weakness. It just means you've carried too much weight for too long. Look at these symptoms. Emotionally, you might feel the sudden urge to cry for absolutely no reason, or find yourself snapping at the people you love. Behaviorally, maybe you're isolating yourself, forgetting things constantly, or your appetite is all over the place. If you find yourself identifying with 3 or more of these, it's a huge red flag. It is time to stop normalizing your fatigue.
Now, the good news is that science shows our brains have an enormous capacity to adapt and heal. The sources share this amazing case study of a highly successful executive mother. On paper, she was crushing it, but inside, she just wanted to disappear. Her path back to herself didn't require some massive month-long retreat. It started really small. Step 1, taking just 10-minute pauses every day. Step 2, claiming 1 free hour a week. Step 3, eventually taking 1 full day per month just for herself. Through these progressive steps, she gradually reclaimed her mind and gave herself space to breathe.
We have to lower our unrealistic expectations and build simple habits to reduce that stress. Look at these practical actions. Just 5 minutes of silence a day, taking a walk without your phone, finding a hobby that is purely for fun, not productivity, saying no without offering a 5-minute explanation, and crucially, seeking help, whether from friends or a professional. Taking care of your mental health isn't a sign of weakness. It's an act of total courage. It's recognizing that your mind deserves the same care you give your body.
This leads us right into our final section, permission to rest.
I want you to take a deep breath right now. Seriously. Let your shoulders drop. You've spent another day demanding way more of yourself than you could give, calling your absolute best not enough. It is time to trade that guilt for self-compassion. Not every single goal needs to be reached right this second, and not every battle is worth the pain it costs your peace of mind.
So, the takeaway here is that there is no failure in slowing down. You do not need to constantly conquer the world or perfectly manage everyone's lives just to be worthy of love. Even the vast sky rests in the dark of night so it can be born beautiful again the next morning.
If you can, just close your eyes for a brief moment. Realize that nothing needs to be solved in this exact second. You've done enough today. The endless demands can wait. Life didn't ask for you to be perfect, it simply asked for you to exist and to be present.
True redemption doesn't come from winning every battle or never disappointing anyone. That's just impossible. Real peace starts when you look at yourself with the same care you'd offer your best friend. It comes from forgiving yourself, letting go of that harsh self-judgment, and actually prioritizing your own well-being. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question. What kind of life are you really building if your mind is never, ever allowed to rest? This single reflection can change so much. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever felt like your mind just never shuts off? What triggers that anxiety for you? Let us know in the comments below. Your experience might really inspire someone else going through the exact same thing. And hey, if this explainer brought you some knowledge, reflection, or hope, please help this project grow. Subscribe to the Mente Sabran Vita channel, turn on notifications, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Every new subscriber helps us bring more science, mental health, and self-knowledge to everyone. Thanks for joining me.